Um, Welcome to Curators of the Past and Into the Future. I'm very familiar with you, but I was wondering if you could introduce yourself to our viewers and followers and such.
Thanks, Carrie. Hi, everyone. My name is Lougien, or Lou for short, and I am a research assistant with the Indigenous Curatorial Collective. I am a settler of color currently living and working on the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people, also known as Ottawa.
Perfect, thank you. So my first question that I'm asking everyone is, who do you find to be the most exciting curator or curators to follow, and how do you go about following them?
So, it's a really good and exciting question that I'm looking forward to answer. And when thinking about it, I really thought it would be a nice opportunity to focus it a little bit more locally, to talk about Ottawa and my experience with it. But it also got me thinking a little bit more about the word curator and what it means to me. And I think personally, I find it to be this really important and exciting role that puts you in touch with the creative potential of your environment and your community and your surroundings. And for that reason, I have chosen Amy Eid as my favorite Indigenous cultural curator to follow. So Amy is not like maybe a traditional curator per se, but she is more of an engagement-focused storyteller that has done so for years on behalf of many Indigenous non-for-profits. And the reason she was brought to mind, other than her many great editorial writings, appearances, consultations, but recently, she actually partnered up with this great charitable organization called Informed Voices on this new and exciting project. So a little bit more about what Informed Voices is. They are a feminist organization that works to make the voices of femme-identifying people more equitable in the media space. So it does that by facilitating connections with journalists and other outlets, and through training and motivation. And with Amy Eid, they made a new kind of initiative that is specifically made to uplift femme Indigenous voices within that media sphere. And to just hear her talk about this work has been very inspiring and eye-opening. And I read an interview that she had talking about this project, and I have a few notes that I would like to share, if that's okay.
Of course.
So to her, making sure that Indigenous women are heard on their own terms is of utmost importance. So to create a safe space or an alternative space also in the face of one that has historically ignored, pressured, manipulated, and exploited Indigenous women is just it's much needed. So, and the fact that there is such a high demand for Indigenous voices, but that also tend to be unpaid or under really unsound contracts or conditions, has also been a really big issue.
Yeah.
And a really good quote that she says is that Indigenous people are asked to be experts on Indigenous culture and history, educating people like journalists and interviewers about basic things that should have been provided or taught in schools. So it's really important to make sure that tools like the ones being provided by Informed Voices are available to advocate for things like strength-based, solution-focused, and trauma-informed communication. Lastly, Amy and the informed opinions are ongoingly seeking new folks to add to this circle of experts, and it doesn't have to be it can be anything from professional to personal expertise that you would like to contribute with. They are more than welcome to engage and work with you. So if you are interested, please follow some of the links that I will provide to Carrie. And also just Amy on Instagram in general is very fun and just hilarious and fantastic to be around and follow. So make sure you do that too.
Awesome. Yeah, I will definitely add those to our Instagram, but then also to the Vimeo where this work will be uploaded, or this interview series or whatever. So my second question is, who would you like to collaborate with on a curation project?
So because I've kind of been so interested and inspired by Amy's work, I thought it would be fun if her and I would eventually work together maybe in the future. And I think one thing that I would like to bring to the table that she already has set up is maybe create kind of like a resource hub for BIPOC or queer creatives to help them develop like alternative and innovative ways to fund their work, so they're not always obliged to a funding system that can be skewed or hard to access, in order to make things like a capitalist system not really stand in the way of them sharing ideas and sharing work and being creative. So yeah, I think that would be really fun and an awesome thing to do. So I'm planting the seed. I really want to.
Amazing. Yeah, that would definitely be, I think, a great initiative and something that's very needed, because a lot of granting systems are not accessible, or basically just accessible. But then also doing the consumer route, or selling your work is also sometimes kind of tricky, especially when you're essentially when some people view it as selling culture, when really you're not doing that. It's complicated, obviously, but I think that would be an amazing initiative to pursue, and I hope that it comes to fruition.
Yes.
What are you most excited about for the future of Indigenous curation, or projects that you kind of want to see in the future?
I think what I find most exciting about Indigenous curation in general is that unlike the imperial practice, it tends to be more of a community-driven endeavor. So the collective labor and empowerment brings so much drive to the work that I do every single day. And specifically, I find young Indigenous art and curation so radical, literally and figuratively, and seeing it continue to thrive gives me so much hope and a better future.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone is really gonna like your ideas and the people that you brought forward. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, and thank you, Carrie, for putting this together, and thanks everyone for listening.